Sagittarius, so you guys will have the North Node moving into Pisces in your fourth house of home, family, emotional foundations, and assets. So some of you will experience changes in your property investments. Pisces often indicates a reevaluation or shift in the emotional ties you'll have with assets, including family, homes, or inherited property. So you might be pushed to sell or reinvest those assets into long-term investments or secure financial instruments. You might be considering the sale of a family property either due to changing family dynamics or due to a change in financial security, where we're looking into taking profits and looking into reinvesting in something more stable. This can look like just long term asset management, a more holistic and intuitive approach, bringing more of the feelings and the hunches into like, I should look at my money situation, my real estate situation a bit. And so, is this really suiting my needs? Do I really feel like I want to be involved in this anymore? There might be things that you're invested in that you no longer are interested in. Now, if you own a home or you're interested in buying a home, you might be experiencing property value fluctuations in where you live because Pisces brings mutable energy here related to the fourth house of property. So this can be influenced by external factors like political shifts or market volatility, not necessarily even something you did. The real estate market might just be fluctuating in properties you're interested in or properties that you own. So keeping a close eye on the market and how that might affect you can keep you informed. And maybe you might even experience some opposition in real estate deals. So just be careful with that. Okay. So consider the legacy of the land, or making sure that the value or any political aspects as it relates to any land or property that you're looking at aren't going to be an issue. Then we're going to have Neptune conjoining the North Node here, which can bring in a sense of idealism and confusion. So watch out for any too good to be true offers as it relates to contracts, or any risk or borrowing or leverage as it might relate to real estate, or family members who might want to borrow some money, or anything related to vehicles or the home, or any water related damage or issue to the home as well. Speculation volatility is going to be really big with real estate here. From a positive perspective, social and environmental investments look good. If you're using your money to invest in green energy or ETFs or stocks related to real estate or agriculture. If you're curious about which stocks I'm looking at from a financial astrological perspective, mixed in with real world fundamentals, my 2025 yearly report covers those types of stuff. And renting or leasing land for financial stability with the focus on the fourth house can be an asset for some of you guys here. Mars is going to be moving direct in the eighth house of Cancer, of shared resources, transformation, bonds, and taxes, inheritances, and broader market income and sales and wins and losses from markets. So shared resources and joint ventures with Mars moving forward makes it a key time to move forward with partnerships, especially if you've been reflecting on them since the end of 2024. Whether it's a business or an investment decision you're making with a spouse, a family member, or a close associate, it can be a great opportunity to move forward and launch it, pooling resources together to invest in a property or a business, negotiating a favorable deal, and getting stake in a growing company, or even taking some profits from markets or a portfolio that might already even be doing well at this time. Some of you might be looking at refinancing some debts or some loans as it relates to reducing or managing debts or consolidating debts, or even going to the bank to refinance a mortgage, particularly if you got one in the past year or two while rates were high. Okay, so investments and inheritances, legacies, working with banking and financial institutions. Mars even wants to influence some more risk taking, so just be careful with that, especially in areas like stocks, cryptocurrency, or real estate, because the eighth house emphasizes the importance of strategy over for long-term planning over impulsive actions. You do want to be careful. So even though Mars wants to push you forward, Mars can be emotional, and in the eighth house of crisis and ups and downs, there might be volatility there. So just make sure that what you're investing in for the long term will benefit you, and make sure that any decisive financial actions aren't just emotional, they benefit you for the long term, that you're being strategic and securing the future by being careful. March 14th, full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo in the 10th house of career and legacy. So you might find yourself stepping into a leadership position, taking on more responsibility, promotion to a managerial role, especially if it relates to paying fine attention to detail. This could be looking like more project management, administrative work, healthcare, writing, speaking, leading major projects, showing you off your organizational skills. And this might even bring public recognition for your achievements and your public image, your public persona. So you might get some media coverage or social recognition. There might even be a change of leadership at your company. You might be stepping up into leadership, or the company that you're working for might even restructure, which can affect your role. It could even be a new CEO. Government or political leaders can shift and affect the business conditions that you're working in, or the financial market. So watch out for any new regulations. There could be even career shifts or changes for many of you Sages, where you leave your current job and shift into a role that more aligns with your long-term goals. You might even move into a whole new industry altogether because the one that you've been in might be feeling a little stale. And for some of you, this can look like leaving a stable corporate job to start your own business. If you own your own business, this eclipse can affect how the public perceives your business, where the public is receiving you more, or there might be fluctuations there. There might be a change in customer preferences. Maybe the way you were doing things once is no longer what they want from you. So refining your approach and improving your public image and the conditions of that house is going to be very key. Then we're going to have the new moon partial solar eclipse in Aries. That's going to be around the 29th. That talks about new beginnings and speculative investments. So starting a new business in creative industries, tech startups, innovations can be profitable. And then we're going to have Neptune enter Aries right after that, which talks about inspiring creativity and financial ventures. But that can also bring confusion or deception in investments. So we want to watch for that. Okay. So just be careful for any too good to be true offers. Saturn's going to enter Aries there in May, which will bring any clarity, any confusion Neptune may have brought for long-term creative investments. You can invest in creative things, and that's the energy here, but is it for the long term? Are we bringing a disciplined approach to our creative pursuits or our business ventures related to art, entertainment, or speculative portfolios or markets? So if you've been thinking about starting a business here, this period is going to demand that for the next 2-3 years that you are structured and putting in daily efforts, especially if it relates to anything creative. Just be careful, be practical, and expect delays. Okay, so that's going to be the key there. And make sure that any risk taking you take now from a portfolio or investment perspective is structured, because Saturn is going to force a revaluation there. Okay, entrepreneurial endeavors can go well, but Saturn demands a need for a realistic, disciplined planning and not being impulsive. Okay, Jupiter is going to enter Cancer in your 8th house. That's going to expand your joint finances. That's the rule of your chart. So it's important where Jupiter goes, and that means you can invest in a property with a partner or a family member, taking advantage of favorable real estate markets during this transit. This can look like inheritance and estate planning, business partnerships, loans and financial support, real estate investments, working on consolidating debts or financial obligations, investing in family businesses, financial planning and consulting, financial advisors, booking a session with a Jupiterian person like myself who can help you grow assets, can be useful. There's a big focus on planning for the long-term future with Jupiter here, which I like. Uranus is going to enter Gemini in the 7th house of partnerships, marriage, and one-on-one relationships. So that can speak to some volatility with those things there. Uranus wants to bring innovation, so this can talk about new innovative partnerships, especially in sectors related to technology, communication, or education. So connections that you make in those sectors can actually benefit you financially, particularly if you meet them in your local environment. You can be approached to enter a business partnership that involves new cutting-edge ideas, like developing a startup or a tech-driven collaboration. This is the time to go for it, particularly if it involves blockchain or AI. Those are good sectors, but just understand that Uranus tends to bring sudden or unexpected shifts, so that can bring renegotiations or shifts in contracts or deals or terms as well. So just be careful with that. This can also bring disruption in traditional financial models, the connections you have, open enemies, partnerships, and financial partnerships as well. All right, they might make a lot more money or they might not make as much money as they used to. So just be aware of those shifts that can happen with Uranus's effect in the house of partnerships for the remainder of this decade. Now, September 7th, the full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces in your fourth house. This talks about a focus on the home, family, and emotional foundations. And so the lunar eclipse can often bring endings or culminations. So you might find that issues related to your living situation and family are coming to a head. So are we closing on a home? Are we moving a home? Are we selling a family property? With Pisces ruling the fourth house, this can involve emotional decisions around real estate or investments tied to home life. So something going on in the home on an emotional perspective might affect our emotional judgment. Our financial judgment. We don't want it to cloud our financial judgment, but it might just be that, this house doesn't feel like a home in some cases, or whatever it might be. The eclipse can signify the end of a chapter, and so the emotions might kind of be, as long as we're cautious and careful and it makes sense and it's practical, it might be guiding us towards the resolution of something related to property or family here. Then on the 21st, there's a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo in your 10th, which brings the focus back into the career, the public image, the house of your legacy. And so this talks about new beginnings, and the solar eclipse will amplify this new beginning, which talks about, are we starting a new career path? Are we being promoted? Are we taking on more responsibilities in our professional life? This can be a really ideal time to set intentions for long-term goals and career aspirations. Some of you might receive a job offer for a higher position or start a new business venture that enhances your public standing. So this is a really good time to focus on long-term financial growth related to your career. Some of you can invest in professional development. So not on the day of the new moon eclipse, but around the eclipse, putting some money on some coaching or educating yourself, developing yourself professionally, and taking steps that can increase your earning potential in the future. And with that, Sagittarius, it's looking like a good year, particularly with the right partnerships and the right people and the right creative pursuits. With that, reach out to me if you need me, whether it's to book a session or for my yearly report for ETFs and stocks that are likely to do well throughout the year. Be well, good luck to you, one love, and peace.
And whenever I do the research, for Sama, and when we do it together, I go back and do the research 10 years back. So it is a lot of work behind. The way I wrote, and actually I'm not going to talk about each individual sign. Sama, you're going to actually summarize that for them right now in this video. But I wrote about 45 pages for each individual sign. The best is to purchase that for your rising sign, but actually you can purchase it all and give it to your friends as well if you would like to. But the other thing is, I would recommend that to purchase it for your rising, after your sun sign, and after your moon sign. So, on the other hand, what I really wanted to say over here, you already talked about the career, and but this is really finance based. It is, guys, I went really deep into to giving you opportunity to watch out for market and which companies to watch for, which companies to invest in, and I checked it each of them individually. So a lot of sweat and blood went into this.